is a senior Ruby, soon to be Emerald. And so tonight we wanted to inspire you and we wanted to encourage you to dream bigger. We wanted you to dream big and to live really big, you guys. We are very, very passionate about vision casting because we have seen what a huge difference that can make in your life. So I just want to take it back a little bit and share with you guys the very beginning of our story and where we started from. Plexus has been such an incredible blessing in our lives because we have done a complete 180 in our health, in our finances. And so I'll take you back to the very beginning. We were very, very skeptical about what Plexus could do, what it could be. And we made fun of our sweet friend Alita for drinking this crazy pink drink. And we just did not understand what this was all about. And so finally, a year later, we decided, okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to start taking these products. But financially, we were in a really bad place. Phil had unexpectedly gotten let go from his job when we were 20 weeks pregnant with our second baby. And so that sent us down what we call a series of unfortunate events. And our kids ended up on Medicaid. We also had $100,000 of student loan debt hanging over our heads. And like James just talked about, there was no light at the end of the tunnel. It was really, really hard for us. And so we started taking these products. And I wish that I could say we had this really amazing, great start. Now the products, we had amazing with that, but the business side took a little bit longer. It took me 5 months to find my very first 3 people, and Phil was my third person. And so I'm sure that, that Alita was thinking at the time that she found her rock star, right? Like, it took this girl 5 months to find 3 people. I bet she's gonna go Emerald in a year. I bet one day that girl is gonna double rank Sapphire and Diamond in the same month. I can guarantee you that she was not thinking any of those things, but I want you guys to know that it really doesn't matter how long it takes, what you come into with this, that your story can be successful.
So some of the things that really just changed our life is, one, being coachable. My wife was a hot mess, y'all. I hope she should post her first selfie with a pink drink.
I was in a bathrobe.
Yeah, her pink bathrobe and like, hey, do this with me. And it did not go very well. I want to touch a little bit on our beginning story. Her mother had a pact where they said, we will not join Alita. And she came to Christmas one year and she goes, look, my shorts are fitting better. And she started defending Plexus. And I said, wait a second, are you defending those products? And she goes, yeah, and your wife's gonna order. And I'm like, what, are you kidding me? So we were completely not on board with this. In fact, I had to move a box of makeup to 6 houses and then throw them away because they expired. She was registered for another company's convention, and then and this is why we're on Medicaid and food stamps, and says, honey, I think I need to go to Plexus's convention. And I'm like, all right, I'm sure
This was after it took me those 5 months to find my first 3 people, so I'm a brand new silver, and I'm like, babe, I'm gonna do this.
And so she goes to convention that first year. She wore Charlie the whole time, and she comes home and says, I'm gonna go Emerald in a year. And I'm thinking over here, okay, like, I just had to move these boxes to 5 different houses. You literally just quit another business to do this one. What are the chances of this actually happening? But I told her that day, I'm not going to be the reason why you fail. I'm not going to sabotage your business with backhanded comments. But I'm going to push you, and I'm going to force you to do the work, and you're going to give me a year. Probably wasn't the best marriage advice, but it was incredible when it came to business. I told her for the first month, she had to go out and meet 2 people a day in person and get them on Facebook. Y'all, I'm going to tell you about the first time she did this.
I've come a long way, you
yes,
guys.
she has come a long way. She went to can you hold them? Yeah. She went to a park, and this lady was there, and she goes, hi, how are you doing? And the lady said, good, how are you? Plexus, I do Plexus. It was the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my life. But that girl is now sitting at Diamond. That girl was coachable. That girl listened to the people with her and said, you should try this, you should do this. She did the thing scared. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm nervous up here. I may not look it, but I'm naturally an introvert. So this petrifies me. But I knew the calling on my life, and I knew that I had a message for people to hear. And so even in the midst of the fear, the courage bubbles up, and that is literally how we built our business, is even when that scary message is right there, and her palms are sweating, and she's like, you just have to hit send. We did the scary things. And so I want to encourage you guys to do the scary things. And I'm here to tell you, if you are coachable, you can be successful. Because the same thing that has stopped another person is the thing that propelled someone else. We were on Medicaid and food stamps. How many people have you heard, I can't afford these products? Right? That's probably the number one objection. They can't say that to us. Because we were there, poor, not being able to afford them. But what they're really saying to you is they don't see the value in those products compared to their excuses. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you don't have that energy, I want to encourage you to get the passion. I want to encourage you, when I meet someone, I think in my head, they either need Jesus, they need Plexus, or they need marketing. Those are the three things, because that's all I'm good for. Talking about Jesus, talking about Plexus, and talking about marketing. And so when I introduce myself to you, it's my job now to determine which one is it. Do they need encouragement? Or do they need help with the finances, the products, or the community? Or do they need help with marketing? That is what, if you are that dedicated, if you are that committed, think of the doors that would open. I'm going to tell this story. I just came from a football game. My son was playing, and I have a joke. I call her my sugar mama, because she is. And so I pulled out my wallet, and they made a joke. Wow, where do you make your money from? And I said, well, actually, my wife is my sugar mama, and we just got back from Hawaii. And they said, what does your wife do? I said, have you heard of Plexus? They said, yes. I said, almost everyone in Smith County is under my wife. I said, you should look into it because it's changed our life. And they were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start following your wife. Guys, every person I meet, every person I interact, it's, do they need Jesus? Do they need Plexus? Do they need marketing? There's a lot of people that would have had that same interaction and they just would have walked away and not had an opportunity to talk to someone about Plexus. I don't want to hold the mic the whole time. I apologize. I'm a talker.
No, and so with all of that, with our story, we share some of these things and some of these ridiculous moments. I mean, I will never forget one of my really first big Zooms that I did. I was so nervous and so excited, and somebody had canceled, and they were like, Megan, you're on. And I said, okay, I've got this. And so I had my cute little white shirt on, and I was showing everyone how simple it is to mix up your pink drink, and then I spilled it all over myself on this Zoom. And so there have been so many moments that things have been messy, that things haven't gone the way that we thought that they would. There have been so many moments that we were scared or fearful, or we had doubts, or we had these negative thoughts. We had all of these things that would come in, but none of those things stopped us. And that's the difference, you guys, is that you have to become unstoppable. Right? And that just means that you show up day in, day out, and that you do those things that scare you, that you do the hard things. It doesn't mean that you do it perfectly every single time. In fact, a lot of the times you're probably going to mess up, but that's okay, because when you have a dream and you have a vision that you are running after, when you hold tight to that, it's all of a sudden like you feel like you can do anything. You know, we had a vision for our family. I decided that we were going to get out of the situation that we were in, and that we were going to turn our life around. We were going to turn our finances around. And it looked hard and it looked scary, but we held that vision together and we ran after that. And every time that those doubts would creep in, right, every time that I would think, I just can't do this, I would remember where we were going. And so I want you guys to think about, what is a dream that is in your heart, right? If you knew that you, without a doubt, could be successful, if you knew that you couldn't fail at something, what is it that you would run after? I believe that all of us have these dreams that God has planted in our heart to do bigger things, right? Maybe you've already done some really big things. I want to challenge you guys to go to the next level. What is that dream that is in your heart? I want you to think about that. I want you to grab hold of that, okay? And I want you to start to run after that. And when things get hard, when you feel discouraged, hold a vision of what that is. Because when you are so clear around what you're running after, all of a sudden, all of these opportunities are going to start popping out at you that weren't there before. Our brain is amazing, okay? And so you are going to find the things that you are looking for. So if you're looking for all of the reasons why you can't be successful, you're going to see them everywhere. But if you're looking for all of the reasons why these dreams can come true, you are going to find them. Our brain has this little center. I won't get super nerdy on you, but it's called the reticular activating center of the brain, and it filters out unimportant information. And so it focuses on what is most important. And the only way that it knows what's important is by what you tell it the most. So what are those thoughts that you're constantly feeding your brain? Are they positive? Are they true? Are they wholesome? Are they right? Or are they negative, right? Because successful people, they learn to work on their mindset. And so you are going to, all of a sudden, you're going to be looking around and your brain's going to be like, that's an amazing opportunity. I'm going to go talk to this person. I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to show up. And all of these things are going to pop out at you. It's like when you get a new car. This is how this part of your brain works. And then all of a sudden you start seeing that car everywhere that you go. It's not that that car wasn't there before. It's just that your eyes weren't open to it. And now you see it everywhere. So I just want to really inspire you guys to dream big. I want to challenge you guys to hold that vision in your mind and start seeking out those opportunities to make those dreams a reality.
And if I didn't give you something applicable to walk away here, I would feel like I'm doing you a disservice. And so I want to give you a challenge. If you really want to run after this, I want to challenge you to send a message to someone and just say, would you do this with me? Or what would it take for you to do this with me? Because those are the hard messages that we would send. We would not shy away from those messages. I love that message because how many of you have heard no before, right? So you're not asking a yes or no. What would it take for you to do this with me? It is such a powerful message, and sometimes you get down to the root of the real problem. So I want you to have a passion. I want you to have vision of where you're going. Guys, our 4 kids are here watching us up here talking. They don't remember what it was like on Medicaid and food stamps because of the life that we've been able to give them. There's so many people who complain about their situation and don't want to do anything about it. And I want to challenge you on here to try to better your situation, your families. And imagine if there's someone that you haven't talked to yet, that their life is about to change because of this opportunity. That excites me. Our life has already been changed. What excites me is Cody and Megan in Smith County, who have never left the county, who've never been on a plane, but earned Punta Cana, already earned the cruise for the Bahamas, and they're now dreaming about what it's going to get them to emerald, sapphire, and diamond. Cody said in our house the one night, he said, you have to leave Smith County to be successful because no one here is successful. And I said to him, what if you have to be the first one to show people who can? And it rocked his world. And now he's dreaming. Now he sees this property and he goes, I want to buy that property. And so this is conversations he's never had. Guys, what if there's someone in your life who needs this opportunity and you're the one to give it to them? That's what excites us, is changing people's lives, changing our family's life, and just growing. So, yeah, I think that's it. Sorry.